last night was on right before Skillet closed out. Fun to hear. Julie was telling us that Colton actually was in the freak zone, just rocking out the Skillet. It's just, you know, these guys all enjoying each other and just, you know, having a good time. And we've got joining us in studio right now, Michael W. Smith, who's going to be closing out tonight. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. It's good to be back.
Yeah, and you just came back from Alaska, is that right?
I was in Alaska.
Yeah.
I was in at the Alaska State Fair and Nebraska State Fair. The cool thing about Alaska, the cool thing about that trip was that I got to hang out with some wounded warriors out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska. So that was the highlight of my Alaska trip. So
I'm going to say it's probably a little cooler up there.
It's a little cooler.
We'll shut in the dark there.
Maybe drier?
It was raining.
Okay, well, there you go.
So you brought the rain. Okay.
I brought the rain with me. I'm the rain man.
So, you know, Michael, actually, and, you know, you've been doing this now for so long. I'm sure you've done plenty of festivals where it's rained. What changes for you if that, when you see it's raining? Does anything change, or you're like, hey, bring it on, who cares?
It doesn't change.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's more in the court of, you want to, first and foremost, you want to make sure everybody's safe. There's not lightning and all that sort of thing. So we're not going to play in that stuff. I think this is going to blow over. And it's going to be fine tonight. But hey, I've been in the snow. I've been in the rain. You know, I remember in Creation one time the whole power went off. You know, they're running the generator and we're waving a lantern and keeping people in time. That was me and Amy Grant and Brown Bannister. So just, you know, you never know. Anytime you have an event outside, you know what? God's in charge, you know, so you just never know what's going to happen. So, but everybody's prepared. We're fine. We're excited.
See, now I picture you as like Charlie Brown, you know, Linus, and like you know, we'll bring out the little piano and you could sit on the floor and play the piano, you know.
That's Schroeder, actually.
Well, yeah, but I know, but it's Charlie Brown.
You should get your artist right.
It all comes together. I know. I should have done my research on that first.
So, you know, what can we expect tonight? I mean, there's a lot of people I know coming out because people in South Dakota, we're used to this kind of stuff. I mean, it's muddy in the field, big deal. Friday night was a big pack night. It was muddy. I was talking to the security guys. They're like, nobody's leaving, and you know, light little rain like this, like you said, there's nothing dangerous about it. So we'll deal with it. So what can people expect that are on their way out there, that are going to wear their galoshes, that are going to wear their ponchos? What kind of show are they going to get?
Well, we're going to have a good time, and you know, I think always the biggest challenge for me is that because I've been doing it for a while, you know, people want to hear their favorite song. Yeah. And there might be 200 people out there who have 200 different songs that they want to hear. So that's the challenge. You know, what do you do? You're excited. I'm excited about the new record. We're going to definitely play 4 or 5 new songs from Sovereign, which I'm very, very thrilled about. And then, you know, if I didn't sing Friends, they'd kill me. You know, so maybe A Little Place in This World. Yep. We got a beautiful little worship set sort of on the back end. I don't want to give it all away, but it works. You know, a lot of people ask me, how do you combine this whole orchestral side of you and the pop side of you and the worship side? And we figured it out, and it works. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I think there's going to be a lot of requests for songs about rain. Like, you're probably going to have to play Healing Rain tonight. You know you're going to have to.
And it might rain when you sing it. So.
But you'll be healed. Okay, so I'm excited about your Christmas CD coming up, the Spirit of Christmas. Now that sounds cool because there's like a bunch of different artists that you're working with, so it's kind of a unique. I read a little Bublé in there, a little CD Bublé. What's that about? Or what can we expect
it's a little big band. It's a little bit of everything. I mean, it's you know, actually I've done 3 Christmas records. It's my favorite time of the year. I love doing Christmas tours. I love playing with symphonies. It's just, that's when I put my suit on.
Yes. Yes, we had you
this year
at
this festival.
Yeah, you saw me. I was there.
Yes.
So, but I'd gotten invited to be on the country music Christmas special last year with Jennifer Nettles of Sugarland, and we sang Christmas Day. And I think it was a really big hit for the show. And so the producer of that show is a good friend of mine. So he knew I wanted to do another Christmas album one time. So he says, I have an idea. And so, because he pitched me this idea. It felt like he was pitching me a TV special. And it was all audio. And he started bringing out names like Carrie Underwood and Vince Gill and Michael McDonald and Bono and Lady Antebellum and Little Big Town, a lot of people from the country market. But his pitch was so compelling, I just thought it was brilliant. And I didn't know how we were going to pull it off because we had a very, very little time to do it. And we did, and it's done. It's in the can. It's coming out September 30th. And it's spectacular. And I can say it's spectacular. I can leave me out of the equation. when you hear Carrie Underwood sing "All Is Well," you've never heard it sung like that in your entire life. You're gonna cry, I promise you.
Probably the goosebumps.
It is like it is
still.
powerful, and Martina doing "What Child Is This?" Amy and I do a song together. That's actually a song that I kind of wrote this music, and Wes King came up with this brilliant idea called "Almost There," and it's chilling. I mean, it's just the hairs will stand up on your neck. So there's kind of moments like that all through the record. You know, the first part is fun and holiday and all that sort of thing, but man, when it turns, it's just incredible. And I can't believe all these people are on my record. You know, I'm still sort of pinching myself. And you know, a lot of them grew up on my music, which is still sort of bizarre. And Carrie's a big fan, and Lady Annabelle, Lady A, or Little Big Town, they all had to go with Young Man record. You know, it's like it's just so odd. You know, it's odd in a good way. So, and then Bono's on it, of all people. You know, we got to know each other through the AIDS crisis in Africa. We got to work together with the president, President Bush back then, and that's how we got to be friends, doing something for other people, which is fun. And I didn't think he would do it. You know. And he actually reads a poem. He does not sing.
Really?
He reads an Irish Kilmore carol called "The Darkest Midnight," and it is so compelling. That's what you'll do. What you're doing
like,
right
just
now.
like
Your
that.
mouth will just go. Your mouth is just kind of open.
Yeah.
And but it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. The whole back end of the record, in terms of just spiritually, it's just it's wonderful. So I'm happy. So can't wait for you to hear it.
September 30th.
September 30th. Can you believe they
release
release a Christmas record on September 30th?
I can't believe we're talking about Christmas right now. I brought it up.
Well, everybody starts decorating in September. It's crazy.
Well, earlier than that, you go to any store and you're going to find Christmas. It's funny because I'm one of those Christmas Scrooges that you don't do Christmas till after Thanksgiving. And as you're describing, I'm like, I want to hear this album now. I mean, honestly, that sounds fantastic. And so, and I think you hit on a key point too, that you might think to yourself, I can't believe I'm working with these artists. I guarantee they're thinking that about you because a lot of them grew up listening to you. And you know, the legacy and the impact that you've made on the industry. And I actually had somebody stop over at our tent today and said, if you talk to Michael, she wanted to know what you think about that. Do you ever stop and look at that and say to you realize the footprint that you have in the world of Christian music and to where it's at today? You know, and I know it was kind of like that's a pretty big question. She's like, I know, but you know, to her, it's like you are this you know, you're such a turning point for making Christian music mainstream. And really bringing it now and kind of showing that, hey, there's really good music out here. And now you look at how popular Christian radio is and Christian music is. And she's, you know, you're one of the people she put up there. You know, do you ever stop and reflect on the legacy that you've created? And I know not in an ego way, because I know you believe, you know, God's work through you. But do you ever stop and look at that when you hear somebody like Carrie that's like, I grew up listening to your music?
Well, I do when people bring it up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I was a trailblazer or anything, although a lot of people would think that I was. I mean, Amy and I were just doing what we love to do. We wanted to make pop music but talk about our faith. That's what we wanted to do, and we did. Yeah. You know, we sort of maybe broke all the rules, but we didn't know what really the rules were. You know, we were just who we were, and you know, no, I didn't realize that it would sort of you know, start a firestorm in a good way. You know what I'm saying? And what would come later. I mean, because you know, if you ask me that question, I have to go back to Randy Stonehill, and I have to go back to Phil Keaggy, and I have to go back to Larry Norman and Andre Crouch. To me, those are the trailblazers for me. You know, so it goes back. You know, it doesn't go back a long way, but it goes back to the '60s when you talk about people like Larry Norman and Randy, and Andre was a huge influence on my life. So, yeah, I just, you know, I always wanted to make a pop record, and I kind of wanted to be like Elton John, but I wanted to talk about hope and faith and talk about my relationship with Christ, and I did. and so yeah, but yeah, I don't think about it often because you have to be careful that you don't sort of skew it the wrong way, going, oh man, look at me. Well, I really, you know. But I'm humbled by it, honestly. When you get some of these artists who come up and say, I'm doing this because of you. I mean, that's pretty heavy, you know. So I guess I look at it as much is given, too much is given, much is required. It's great. It's a great responsibility, and I never ever forget that. It is a great responsibility.
And we put it out to our listeners and had them over Facebook give us some questions to ask.
Oh,
so I picked one out for you because you've got some awards and everything. So Kay wants to know where do you put your awards? Where do you? Because if you think about, you know, I have kids and everything, and so they bring you all these,
little hands cannot
right?
come around these.
Right? They bring you all these like coloring pages, and oh, Mom, Dad, you got to save this because this is like 1 in 1,000 that I just drew for today, and it's everyone's special. So, what do you do with them? Do you ever kind of like shove them off to the side? Do you put any in the boxes? Do you, you know, because you got to dust around all those. What do you?
Yeah. Well, with all due respect to the Gospel Music Association, I'm grateful for everyone. I don't even know how many I have. I mean, I think it's 44 or whatever, but they're not on display. They're actually in a cabinet. Most of all of them are in a cabinet. Maybe there's 2 or 3. I think the 3 Grammys that I have are on, I wouldn't call them they're on display. They're on a shelf in our great room, and you have to kind of look carefully to find them. I don't have some shrine when you walk in my
Yeah.
Lights all aiming
No,
towards it.
I don't. That's just not who I am. You know? And maybe I should put them someplace, but I don't think I would put them in my home. I'd probably put them in my studio, but I just don't even think about it. So we have our computer in our little sitting room beside the kitchen, and you know, every once in a while somebody will open up the cabinet thinking there's paper up there, and there's like 35 of them
Like, I just want a
inside
pen.
the cabinet going, golly, help. And they've been in there for like 10 years or 12 years. And I think I'm just going to keep them in there for now. That's it.
Michael W. Smith, thank you so much for stopping in and taking the time out. And, you know, blessings on tonight's show with all the rain. And I know it, you know, if anybody can handle it, it'd be a pro like yourself. And so I just know that there's so many people excited. You're going to have a hardcore group of people here really, really anticipating tonight's show.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.